Hello, everyone, and welcome. Have you ever stopped to think about what's happening in the background when you're just, sending an email or streaming your favorite show? It kind of feels like magic, right? But it's all powered by this massive, invisible world of technology. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore this hidden world. We're talking about the cloud, green computing, and the tiny processors that make it all happen. Let's dive right in.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. You click save on a document, or you hit play on a movie, and poof, it just works. But where does that file actually go? What's the real story behind that click? Because it's not just happening on your phone or your laptop. It's happening out there, somewhere, in what we all call the cloud.
And the thing is, we depend on this magic all day, every day, most of the time without even thinking about it. Are you binge watching a series on Netflix? That's the cloud. Working with your team on a Google Doc? That's the cloud. Backing up all your photos to Google Drive? You guessed it. Even for you developers out there coding in a browser with something like VS Code Web, all of that is running on this incredibly powerful, invisible infrastructure.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation of it all, the cloud itself. And look, it's so much more than just a marketing buzzword. It's the fundamental platform that really makes our modern digital lives even possible.
So what is cloud computing, really? At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of keeping all your software and all your data on your own computer's hard drive, it's all stored and run on these super powerful remote servers. We're talking about servers owned by giants like Amazon, Google, or Microsoft. All you do is access it through the internet. The main thing to get here is that all the heavy lifting, all the processing, the storage, the serious number crunching, it's all happening somewhere else, far away. So how is the cloud actually built? Well, you can basically break it down into three main parts. First up, you've got the front end. That's your screen, right? It's the web browser or the app you're actually touching and seeing. Then you've got the back end. This is the real powerhouse, the giant data centers with all the servers and storage that do all the actual work. And finally, connecting the two, you have the delivery network, which is for all of us the internet. So it's simple. What you see, what does the work, and the connection in between. Okay, so that's how it works for us as users. But what about for a business or a developer trying to build the next big thing? For them, the cloud isn't just one single thing. It's more like a menu of options they can choose from depending on exactly what they need. So let's take a look at what's on that menu. And this table breaks it down perfectly. The best way to think about this is like ordering a pizza. First, you have IaaS, or Infrastructure as a Service. This is like the cloud provider giving you the oven, the flour, the water. You get the raw ingredients, virtual servers, storage, and you build the entire pizza yourself. Then there's PaaS, Platform as a Service. Here, they've made the dough for you. The provider manages the servers and the platform. You just bring your toppings and your recipe. In other words, your code. Next is SaaS, Software as a Service. This is just ordering a pizza delivered to your door. Everything is done for you. Think Gmail, think Zoom, you just use it. And finally, you've got FaaS, or serverless. This is like ordering by the slice. You don't even worry about the pizza. You just pay for the one slice you eat. Your code only runs when it's needed, and that's all you pay for. Now imagine millions of those pizzas being cooked in millions of ovens 24/7. All those servers, all that computing power, well, it consumes a massive amount of energy. And that brings us to our next really critical topic. How do we make all of this powerful technology environmentally responsible?
And this is exactly where green computing comes into the picture. It's not just about, using a little less electricity. It's a whole philosophy. It's about rethinking the entire life cycle of our tech, from how it's designed and built to how we use it, and finally, how we dispose of it, all in a sustainable way. The big goals here are to seriously slash energy consumption and shrink our carbon footprint.
And it's not just one magic solution, right? It's a strategy with many parts. We're talking about making the hardware itself more energy efficient. We're talking about using eco-friendly materials to build it. We're talking about properly recycling old electronics so they don't end up as toxic e-waste. And of course, designing massive data centers that run on renewable energy and use smart, efficient cooling systems. It's a complete holistic approach.
Of course, going green isn't always easy. There are definitely trade-offs. The benefits? They're huge. You save a lot of money on electricity bills, you help the planet, and it makes your company look really good. But the challenges are real too. Upgrading to all this new green tech can cost a lot of money up front, and sometimes the most eco-friendly option might not be the absolute fastest or most powerful one available.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you balance that raw need for power with the crucial need for efficiency?
Well, the answer lies deep inside the machine, in its very heart, the processor. Let's zoom in and look at the different kinds of brains that power our digital world.
In the world of business and data centers, you've really got two main flavors of processors. On one hand, you have the high-performance monsters. Think of these as the sports cars of the chip world. Multi-core CPUs, powerful GPUs. They are built for pure speed, for crunching enormous amounts of data, for things like AI and real-time analytics. Then, on the other hand, you have power-saving processors, like ARM chips. These are more like the super-efficient electric vehicles. They're designed with a simpler architecture that lets them get jobs done using way less energy, making them perfect for saving money on electricity and supporting those green IT goals. It's all about picking the right tool for the job.
And you know, choosing the right processor isn't just a techie decision. It has huge business benefits. When you use the right chip, you get faster decision-making because your data is processed in real time. Your customers get a much better experience with snappy, fast-loading apps. You save a ton of money on electricity, and you can easily scale your operations to handle more users and more data as your business grows. It directly impacts both performance and profit.
And here are some perfect real-world examples. Let's say you have a business intelligence system that needs to analyze sales data the second it comes in. For that, you absolutely need a high-performance processor. But what about a CRM system for managing customer info? Its main job is to be reliable and cheap to run, so a power-saving processor is the much smarter choice there. You see how matching the processor to the task is absolutely key for running an efficient business?
Okay, so we've looked at the cloud, we've talked about green computing, and we've dived into processors. Now, let's step back and put all of these pieces together to see the full picture. What we really have here is a kind of modern tech trinity. Each part needs the others to work. The cloud gives us that flexible foundation that lets us build and grow services. Green computing gives us the responsible, sustainable framework to do it without hurting the planet. And the specialized processors give us the exact, tailored power needed to make it all run efficiently.
And this, right here, is the most important takeaway. You can't think of these as separate things anymore. A modern data center is this incredible system where carefully chosen, power-efficient processors are used within a green computing philosophy, all to deliver those scalable cloud services that we use every day. It is all one single, powerful, and integrated system.
And so that leaves us with one final big question to think about. Our world is only getting more and more connected. Our demand for data, for streaming, for everything digital is just going to keep growing. The real challenge, and honestly the real opportunity, is to innovate in a way that our technology can keep getting more powerful while also becoming truly sustainable. It's a fascinating problem, and how we solve it will absolutely shape the future for all of us. Thanks so much for joining me today.